Okay, let's of course introduce my co-anchors once again. Preeti Chaudhary joins us. She did a major interview with Prashant Kishor not too long ago. Maria Shakil, Beti of Bihar, so she knows the ground of Bihar better than most. So both of them will be taking this program forward. Also joining us is Ajay Alok. Dr. Ajay Alok is national spokesperson BJP, but also someone, a prominent face of Patna. It is again his heartland, his homeland. We are also joined by Amitabh Tiwari, a pollster who's been tracking Bihar, particularly for us on India Today, writing a series of articles, well-researched, on the data crunching of Bihar. Appreciate all of you joining us. We'll also be joined by Yashwant Deshmukh of C Voter. It's a C Voter poll. I just want to tell you the methodology before Maria gives the first big data point. Sample size is 2,530. Fieldwork dates October 9-10. So as recently as that, it's a computer-assisted telephonic interview. So this is a CATI poll. Keep that in mind. So these are some of the riders, just to inform viewers that this is the methodology and gives you maybe some kind of a glimpse at what could happen. But remember, picture abhi baki hai. But Maria, why don't you take us through the first big talking point that we have today?
Yes, so let's begin with who is facing maximum difficulty in finalizing seat sharing. Just look at this data. NDA stands at 48.6% because NDA is perhaps the largest alliance with Upendra Kushwaha's party, which is called Rashtriya Lok Samta Party. You also have Jitan Ram Manjhi's HAM, and of course the bigger brother in that is Chirag Paswan's LJP. It is Chirag Paswan who is playing difficult to get here, and he is bargaining for a more number of seats, something that could work in his advantage because he did play that role of Hanuman to Prime Minister Modi in 2020. That was his pitch. So NDA at 48.6%, MGB at 24.3%. Let's look at who is most likely to switch alliances if not satisfied. The obvious guess would be Chirag Paswan. He is at 35.1%. The other name is Mukesh Sahni of VIP Party, because he again has been switching multiple alliances, and that's why it becomes important. So Rajdeep, I would say that it's more or less on predictable lines, but knowing how seat sharing formulas in NDA has been worked out in multiple states, I would see this more of some kind of bargaining exercise which is being carried out by Chirag, something that will iron out in the next 3 to 4 days.
Let's settle this Chirag argument once and for all. Dr. Ajay Alok joins us. Dr. Ajay Alok, who is most likely to switch alliances if not satisfied? Chirag Paswan leads the way, 35.5%. Are you completely confident that Chirag is fully behind the alliance? We are told that Nityanand Rai has met him more than a couple of times in the last 24 hours and has more or less sorted out the problem. Will Chirag Paswan be part of your five-pronged alliance? That's the BJP, the JDU, Chirag's party, Jitan Ram Manjhi and Upendra Kushwaha. Is the alliance fit and well or not?
Well, Rajdeep, the time for switching the alliance is over. There is no question of switching of any alliance, and today Chirag has already given the statement that everything is going fine and will come up with the announcements very soon. And let me tell you, it won't be the announcement for how many seats who's contesting. We'll announce the candidate of all the five parties together. And it's going to take place within 48 hours from now.
So you're saying within 48 hours. When you look at these numbers, Preeti, it shows that one of the challenges that parties have when they have these big alliances, and in Bihar there are two big alliances, is seat sharing. There are now reports that the Congress, which fought 70 seats last time, could come down to 56 to 58 seats. So there is an element of give and take that's going to come. Do you sense, looking at these numbers, that most people, and Biharis know their politics, fear that because NDA is a bigger alliance, naturally the pulls and pressures are that much greater?
Well, the pulls and pressures are that much greater. But Rajdeep, let's also quickly dip in. to what Chirag Paswan said and to what Samrat Chaudhary said, because if you look at what our respondents have polled, most respondents actually feel that the NDA alliance, like you pointed out, a bigger alliance is going to have more trouble in terms of seat sharing arrangements. Chirag Paswan could be the first person who actually walks out of an alliance if their alliance needs to, breaks. But let's listen in to both of them and we'll come right back. Let's quickly listen in.
बातचीत बहुत अच्छे से, बहुत बढ़िया से, कल जैसा आदरणीय नित्यानंद जी ने कहा, सकारात्मक, बहुत ही सकारात्मक रूप से बातचीत हुई है, हो रही है और अभी अंतिम दौर में अब ये बातचीत पहुंच चुकी है। हम लोग हर एक माइन्यूट जितने भी डिटेलिंग्स हैं, हर चीज़ को हम लोग पहले ही डिस्कस कर लेना चाहते हैं ताकि बाद में गठबंधन के भीतर किसी भी चीज़ को लेकर हर चीज़ को विस्तार से हम लोग चर्चा करना चाहते हैं, जो कि बहुत अच्छे से हुई है, हो रही है। जहां पे मेरे प्रधानमंत्री हैं वहां पे कम से कम मुझे अपने सम्मान की चिंता करने की जरूरत नहीं है।
देश के यशस्वी प्रधानमंत्री आदरणीय नरेंद्र मोदी जी के नेतृत्व में एनडीए पूरी तरह एकजुट होकर सबसे वार्ता चल रही है। देश के यशस्वी प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी, बिहार के लोकप्रिय मुख्यमंत्री नीतीश कुमार जी, चिराग पासवान जी, जीतन राम मांझी जी, उपेंद्र कुशवाहा जी, सभी पार्टियों से लगातार भारतीय जनता पार्टी के नेता बात कर रहे हैं। बड़ा ही सौहार्द माहौल में सबसे वार्ता हो रही है और जल्द ही आप लोगों को खुशखबरी मिलेगी कि सबका गठबंधन का स्वरूप, सीट की संख्या सब आपको बताने का काम किया जाएगा।
Amitabh Tiwari still with us, also joining us now, Manisha Priyam, again someone who has tracked Bihar, is from that state. Amitabh Tiwari, alliance talks always involve the pulls and pressures before the election, but do you get a sense that the NDA has to, in a way, concede a little bit more because they have many more partners, but they have the advantage of a wider alliance as well?
Yeah, so the NDA has an advantage of a wider alliance. So the alliance caters to a higher number of caste and community groups, and it has a higher addressable voter segment in that sense. But since Chirag Paswan brings that extra 5 to 6% votes, which have stayed loyal to the party for long time now, he is bargaining hard for the seats because he realizes that the elections are very close and this 6% could be the crucial vote which could help the NDA to win. And his claim is also not wrong in the sense that his party was leading in 29 assembly segments in Lok Sabha elections held recently, and 5 Lok Sabha seats translate into 30 Vidhan Sabha seats. The problem also is that in this alliance there are two captains. One is BJP and the other is JDU. Unlike Mahagathbandhan, where RJD plus Congress will contest on 200 mostly, but it will likely be 150 and 50 or 140 and 60. Here, both the captains are likely to contest on an equal number of seats, and they do not want to contest on anything less than 100 seats because that reduces their bargaining power in a post-poll scenario. So that is the complexity which the NDA is facing currently.
Maria, you spoke to Chirag Paswan. What did he tell you?
So the sense certainly is that this is his best moment to bargain. He says that his strike rate has been the best in the Lok Sabha. It was 100%. And hence he should negotiate and navigate the way he is doing. He also said that he'll emphasize, he will focus on quality of seats rather than quantity of seats. The BJP at the moment, Rajdeep, is ready to give him perhaps a Rajya Sabha berth and also some MLC representation because Bihar is a bicameral legislature. But Chirag understands that he is more significant in this alliance than Jitan Ram Manjhi and Upendra Kushwaha. He has a captive 5 to 6%, which is around that region of Hajipur. That's why he's bargaining hard.
Okay. Manisha Priyam, the point that Amitabh Tiwari raised is interesting because one of the figures which this poll perhaps ignores in some way is the battle between the JDU and the BJP. Because 243 seats, the JDU traditionally has got the same number or a slightly higher number of seats in terms of seats that they contest compared to BJP. But all of that has changed in recent times. Do you get a sense that that is the one other big battle, that Nitish Kumar doesn't want to concede at the starting point to the BJP, unlike in 2020 where he got hemmed in? Do you see that as one big factor which is actually not reflecting at the moment? The JDU-BJP tension over seats.
Okay, so Rajdeep, yes, indeed, and I believe that Amitabh Tiwari and you are conveying the sobriety of the numbers. Behind the numbers, there is political contestation. Remember, election is about political contest coming out to the fore. This is very unique and very strange. Nitish Kumar not in his finest health to be able to take this challenge on. So while there is a contest for numbers, the BJP and the JDU are in their best and finest moment of alliance, almost a seamless understanding of who will fight from where, and we will not be able to distinguish members of one party from the other. The JDU at this point of time being led by Mr. Sanjay Jha and Mr. Lalan Singh, two of the trusted aides of Mr. Nitish Kumar. I am very confident when I say that Mr. Nitish Kumar, I respect him a lot, but not in his finest moment of health. These two captains are really being trusted also by the top leadership of this government, the Prime Minister and the Home Minister. So I would consider this seamless. I would also like to, one second. Yes. I would also like to tell you that Samrat Chaudhary is a wounded soldier, which is why they have to prop up Upendra Kushwaha, because that important Kushwaha vote which was coming in the name of Samrat Chaudhary may now be stitched together. So it's important for the BJP-JDU to show off that Upendra Kushwaha is battling on behalf of the Kushwahas. Upendra Kushwaha has been a weak leader, unable to win his own seat.
What is playing out in this alliance, Rajdeep? How it is, the conversations are happening between the BJP and the JDU. Manisha Priyam is right. It is Sanjay Jha and Lalan Singh who are navigating.
And Vijay Chaudhary.
And Vijay Chaudhary. Of course, Lalan Singh is a minister also, so he understands. And Sanjay Jha is the working president of the JDU. The sense is that there has to be a nakad number, in the sense that 101 for perhaps JDU and 100 for the BJP. That symbolic one seat more for Nitish Kumar is the sense that is coming in at the moment. Second, most of these leaders are working very closely with the BJP leadership, Rajdeep. Dharmendra Pradhan and Home Minister Amit Shah, they are very closely working with them. So I won't be surprised that on a number of seats, there could be old BJP hands who would be contesting on JDUs.
But Preeti, what is interesting is normally when we look at alliances, the problems come usually with the opposition. The BJP always has its act together. It's got its numbers in place. This time, the Congress seems to be the one conceding. All reports suggest that they will contest fewer seats than last time. They've got the Male, they've got Mukesh Sahni of his VIP party.
Right.
Crucial figure. Do you get a sense that for once the Congress has decided we will cede space in this Bihar elections to Tejaswi, and he decides who fights this election?
I don't quite think so, because Rajdeep, with both alliances are concerned. What has been the Congress's biggest grouse coming of 2020, and I think our viewers will also know it, they might have fought, a formidable number of seats, which was 70. They came out with just 19, and they've always held it against the RJD that you gave us seats which we couldn't win on. Winnability was impossible on those seats. So right now, they might come down from a 70, and they might be pitching for a 50 to 55, but they are looking at bagging some winnable seats in there. The local cadre, now this is again the Congress's perception, actually does believe that after the vote Adhikar Yatra somewhere down the line, there is a resurgence or a revival of the party where Bihar is concerned. So therefore, they're in a position to maybe bargain for a few more winnable seats where the Congress comes into question. But it's interesting, Rajdeep, because yes, the last time around, the BJP might be wanting about 100 seats. The last time around, they fought 110 seats. They came up with 74, which was one less than an RJD, with a strike rate of 66%. Will the BJP with 100 seats maintain the same strike rate? Where Chirag Paswan comes into question, Rajdeep, it's also all the more interesting because one can say he was not with the NDA last time. I don't quite look at it like that. It's a glass half full. He was half with the NDA because the 130 seats that he actually fought was against the JDU. So whatever he got was against the JDU. On the other hand, maybe we can bring Amitabh Tiwari in all of this. VIP, which was with the NDA last time, has switched. They have not just, forget about the number of seats that they won, because they are sensing blood, and Mukesh Sahni is actually vouching to be the deputy chief minister. So a lot at play, not just our...
In fact, what I'm told is the latest formula which is doing the rounds for the Mahagathbandhan is Tejasvi to be projected as chief minister.
And
there will be Mukesh Sahni as a deputy chief minister. There will be a Congress leader as a deputy chief minister, likely from a Dalit community, and there will be an RJD deputy chief minister from Muslims.
And in all of this, Rajdeep, the Congress hasn't announced Tejasvi as the chief ministerial face.
So this is supposed to be the formula that is being worked on. Congress ke ghar mein der hoti hai, andher nahi is what is often said. They still have another CEC meeting. But very quickly, before Preeti takes the next interesting question, Amitabh Tiwari, your sense, just purely in terms of alliance arithmetic, do you believe that this Bihar election is about alliance arithmetic more than perhaps the chemistry that individual leaders might have?
No, alliance arithmetic is important, but chemistry as well is important because chemistry leads to vote transfer or a seamless vote transfer between alliance partners. And we've seen in the last election, wherever RJD candidate contested, Congress voters transferred 83% of their votes. Wherever Congress contested, RJD transferred 82-83%. But that same reciprocity was not seen between JDU and BJP last time because BJP disgruntled voters had an outlet in LJP. That is not present this time. One could argue Prashant Kishor with his forward caste candidates or other EBC candidates against JDU might be that outlet this time for BJP.
But Amitabh, break it down a bit for a minute. 51 seats that at least the Jan Suraj has already announced, which is Prashant Kishor. Of the 51, if you look at them closely, 17 to 18 are EBC, 3 to 4 are Mahadalit, 8 are Muslims, and 8 are upper castes. So is there a possibility, at least with the first glimpse of those 51 seats, that Prashant Kishor could possibly do an LJP on JDU? Because if you're looking at an EBC and a Mahadalit, these were the core vote bank of the JDU.
I think Prashant Kishor has already said very openly that JDU's tally will fall to 25 seats and Nitish Kumar will not be the CM candidate. So I think in terms of objective number one, which he has, I think in my opinion, is that to damage Tejasvi as a brand, at least among the youth, which he has succeeded to some point, split the opposition vote. And I think that the next target could be JDU in terms of damaging JDU to below 25, because he needs something out of this election, correct? Either as a politician, if he doesn't get any
the
seats,
first list seems to suggest that.
Strategist.
Okay,
correct, that I said this and this happened, correct? He needs something out of this election.
Okay, let's come therefore to the next talking point. Preeti, you interviewed Prashant Kishor, so why don't you tell us the next big talking point?
All right, so what has been a talking point at the back of what Prashant Kishor alleged and charges that he made were corruption charges against key BJP leaders. So the question, ladies and gentlemen, that we posed to our respondents was, who benefits from Prashant Kishor's graft charges against NDA? And let's get the results polled on your television screen. So who benefits? Because though he's been making allegations against the RJD, but he's come up with tangible proof of what he claims that he has, tangible proof against certain BJP leaders. One of them is, of course, Samrat Chaudhary, the deputy CM of Bihar. Now, who benefits from PK's graft charges against NDA leaders? Well, our respondents feel that 33.6% of our respondents feel that the Mahagathbandhan could in fact benefit. Jan Suraj, only 22.6% will benefit on the graft charges. The NDA sidelining those tainted, 21.9%. No one will benefit, 10.4%. So Rajdeep, if you look at it net, even though it is Prashant Kishor who's making those charges, most of it training his guns on the NDA, particular leaders like Samrat Chaudhary, yet the respondents feel it will be the MGB, the Mahagathbandhan, that stands to benefit, not so much as Jan Suraj.
Let's get Ajay Alok on that. Ajay Alok, do you concede that the nature of charges made by Prashant Kishor have hit the BJP in particular where it hurts? The charges made particularly against Samrat Chaudhary on the fact that corruption charges, matriculation degree fraudulent, the charges he's made against Sanjay Jaiswal, the charges he's making against Ashok Chaudhary of the JDU. Do you accept that all of this is hurting your alliance, or do you disregard these charges? There are very specific charges that have been made by Prashant Kishor, not all of which have been responded specifically by the likes of Samrat Chaudhary.
Well, let me tell you, Rajdeep, Prashant Kishor has been touring Bihar since 2021. Now it is 4 years that he has been travelling all around Bihar. Samrat Chaudhary became Chief Minister, Deputy Chief Minister in 2023. If he is a responsible citizen and he so much cares for Bihar, why from 2023 till now he was sitting like an idle duck? But now he is facing contempt charges on the contrary. Sanjay Jaiswal, Ashok Chaudhary, Samrat Chaudhary all have filed a contempt case on him. Why he was sleeping duck
they filed
from
defamation
2023
cases.
if he had some
They have
collective
filed
evidence?
defamation cases, but do you concede that it has somewhere hit the credibility of these leaders?
I don't think it has hit the credibility of the leader or the party because this is an election time.
It has. Well, Rajdeep,
People are
let's
a
not
habit of
forget that for 20
charging
years,
you.
RJD was always played in defense. They were conscious of the fact because there was that baggage of fodder scam cases and other scam cases which were there, allegedly there when Lalu Yadav was the railways minister. Tejasvi Yadav never raised a corruption issue against Nitish Kumar government or any of the BJP leaders. Now, Prashant Kishor has put the spotlight on this issue in which the BJP and the JDU are finding it difficult to explain. So there is that point which I would give to PK because Tejasvi Yadav has never played on this pitch.
So this anti-corruption campaign, it's interesting how Prashant Kishor is trying to project himself as someone who's trying to change Bihar's political culture and thereby targeting both NDA and MGP at different times. Shweta Priya, spokesperson JDU, joins us. Shweta Priya, do you accept that Prashant Kishor is now hitting the JDU where it hurts?
You're on mute, ma'am.
You're on
Unmute
mute.
yourself.
Yes, ma'am. Go ahead. Okay, you're still on mute. We'll try and get you back. Manisha Priyam, how do you see this? Important point that Maria made there, that for years the RJD was associated with corruption. Now you have Prashant Kishor who's saying, "Hamam mein to sab nange hain." There are BJP leaders who he claims are corrupt and there are JDU leaders who he claims are corrupt. Do you believe he's in a way trying to emerge as this anti-corruption face targeting both the established formations?
I think that Prashant Kishor has been able to take this round. Remember, huge changes in Bihar politics have happened around the theme of anti-corruption. Remember, the chief ministers disenthroned in Bihar saying, "Gali gali mein chor hai," and then the name of a particular chief minister was taken. That chief minister goes. We've also seen the Congress formation then led by Jagannath Mishra. That had to go down on the same themes. But the biggest victory came with Jan Morcha. Arun Nehru then had his trusted allies in Bihar. The important dialogues that happened between Arun Nehru and Karpuri Thakur, who did not live to see that day when this formation would be able to uninstall the seated government of the Congress party and the rule of the Brahmins. Lalu Prasad Yadav took to chief ministership on that plank and platform where VP Singh came in first. Lalu Yadav put Ram Sundar Das by the side. It was an anti-corruption plank and platform. But lo and behold, in 5 years, within 5 years, there was the Chara Ghotala case which brought in Lalu and Jagannath Mishra together, and not the RJD. Remember, the RJD, Raghuvansh Prasad Singh, Jagta Babu, Maria Shakil's own stalwart father, my own father never had corruption charges, but corruption charges on the leader put the RJD on the map. And since 2005, Nitish Kumar had been the winner of this particular pitch. This time around, I would give it to Prashant Kishor for having gone out and belled the cat somewhat. When I go back to Bihar, the BJP leaders tell me that, oh, उन्होंने वो दो ही लीडर का नाम लिया है, बाकियों का नहीं ले रहे हैं, तो वो factional fight का नतीजा है, which means I don't know Bihar for many years now. I have been away over 3 decades. I think there are many more. This time round on this issue, Prashant Kishor,
So
I don't know whether the electoral sweepstakes are his or not, but certainly his. Yeah.
So therefore, corruption has been neutralized almost in a way. Let me just quickly try Shweta Priya once more, spokesperson JDU. Shweta Priya, if you've got if you're no longer on mute, a quick response.
Okay, we still
don't have her. We still don't have her.
Rajiv, the sheer fact that even, at one end, he's pulling out the EBC card in terms of the allocation of seats. On the other hand, if Prashant Kishor today is doing a rally in an area or a sabha, which is upper caste, he's not Prashant Kishor. He's Prashant Kishor Pandey. It's interesting how he's trying to, where the NDA is concerned. But it's not that he's not taking Tejasvi. Whereas he started his campaign from tomorrow, he's starting from the constituency of Tejasvi Yadav.
Okay,
Will he fight is the big question.
Well, it appears that he won't fight the election at the moment. Prashant Kishor remains very interesting, particularly as a new factor in Bihar. But what impact he will have is something we'll find out in our mood check. But Maria, one of the issues which has dominated the conversation in the lead up to Bihar is the special intensive revision exercise carried out by the Election Commission, particularly the opposition claiming that it is a fraudulent exercise aimed at excluding people. What does the C voter mood check say, Maria?
Okay, so let's put the spotlight on special intensive revision. Remember, Rahul Gandhi carried out his Vote Adhikar Yatra. The message was that this should be an awareness campaign. Bihari voters should go to every polling booth to check that their names exist on the voter list. So this is how it stands. Who benefits most from SIR? NDA at 46.1%, Mahagathbandhan at 21.7%. Remember, it started at 65 lakh deletion in the first roll. It came to 47 lakh in the final list. So there was an addition of close to 18 lakh voters in that period of 1 month when this entire issue was also fought in the Supreme Court, where the Supreme Court issued an instruction to the Election Commission that they should ensure that the Aadhaar is seen as a proof of residence. Now the next question, has SIR improved the fairness of elections? Yes. Polls now accurate and transparent. 42.6% voters feel that. Let's put that graphics out. Has SIR, the special intensive revision, improved the fairness of elections? 42.6% respondents feel that yes, polls are now accurate and transparent. 31% though, extremely high, say that no, it caused confusion and exclusion. Rajdeep, there has been a great degree of fear. Remember, in 2020, the gap between the NDA and the MGB was just around 14,000 votes. In close to 50% of constituencies, the vote share gap, almost like 10%, should I say, was less than 500. And that is the reason why this fear of 31% becomes important.
Yeah, but I'm only going by the numbers, Maria, and the numbers suggest, at least at the moment, 42% are saying the polls are now more accurate and transparent. If I add too early to tell, which is 16.5, that's about 58%. And fairness or not affected is 3.5, 61. So it's 31 or 1 in every 3, which is roughly the amount of vote. 37% is what the MGB got last time, the Mahagathbandhan of the opposition. It appears no cause confusion and exclusions could broadly parallel those who voted for the opposition. So you're seeing a divide there on political lines as well. Is SIR really therefore a factor? Amitabh Tiwari is the question that is being asked. Has SIR improved the fairness of elections? A significant number of people believe yes. Who benefits most from it is the NDA. So you've got a suggestion there, implicit almost, that a number of voters excluded could be voters who voted last time for the Mahagathbandhan. Remember, a disproportionate number of voters, according to some suggestions made in the Supreme Court, have been Muslims. So do you get a sense?
And women.
And women.
And migrants.
Yeah, so, but primarily Muslims, 30 was a larger chunk. I just want to understand, do you believe SIR has made it freer and fairer in a way, but at the same time left some concern over exclusions, Dalits, Muslims, poorer communities in general?
No, see, this SIR question across surveys, if you see, has clearly divided Bihar. And what has happened is that whenever you ask this question or a question related to SIR or vote chori, the answers you get largely are aligned to the political affiliations of the
That's right.
voters, the respondents. That's what is visible from your survey as well, see voters survey as well, that 42% believe that now it is a fair and transparent, which roughly corresponds to the adjusted vote share of NDA, which is NDA plus LJP and RLSP minus VIP, and around 31, which is roughly the MY combination, say that it has caused confusion and exclusion. Now, the interesting part is who benefits. So, when 46% people say that NDA benefits, what is the reason that they believe that NDA is benefiting? As you mentioned, whether it is the exclusion of the marginalized or the minorities, as mentioned in some reports, or is it largely because it has energized the cadre of the NDA, and amongst the cadre of the NDA, it is the Ghuspatia thing which is working largely. So we have to really go behind that to understand that.
You know, Rajdeep, I'll
Yeah,
just
go
take
ahead.
to
Please
our
go ahead.
figures earlier because we've been conducting the political stock exchange on SIR, and if Yashwant was there, he'd be able to corroborate that figure. You know, what's really interesting is because the breakdown, what we see is who benefits, 46.1%. When we've gone through the micro data of it earlier on, it seems to suggest that there's a huge chunk that actually believes that this exercise has happened in a hurry and it should not have taken place in Bihar at this time. They agree to it. Despite of agreeing to that, they say that it's going to be the NDA that will benefit. So, you know, that's where it ties in. It's not that the respondents don't know that this exercise is contentious or problematic. They admit it's problematic, but they are very clear that this will benefit the BJP.
But
on
it
the
will
NDA.
Yeah,
not
but
be an
when I
issue.
look at, it seems to have deeply split Bihar. Yes, polls now accurate and transparent is a fairly large sample of 42.6%. All I'm saying is that it seems to go according to party affiliations. Depending on where your party affiliations are, you see SIR in
True.
that
So that's-
particular context as well. Manisha Priyam, do you believe an exercise like SIR makes a difference? As Maria pointed out, last time the gap between party number 1 and 2 was just under 12,000 votes. A number of constituencies significantly had voter victories of 5,000. Many of them had voter victories of
52
1,000 and
seats less than
52
5,000.
seats less than 5,000. Number of them less than 1,000. Do you therefore believe that even if the number of voters unfairly excluded are a few lakhs, that even makes a difference, therefore, in an election like Bihar, if it's very closely contested?
I mean, it's anybody's answer that yes, it will make a difference. The only thing is that we cannot with confidence say that those excluded are aligned to a particular party or not. Whether those excluded are evenly distributed across the population. Statistically, if they are, then it wouldn't make a difference. But my understanding from the field is that, especially in Saran, where I did the fieldwork in August and September, the deletions were fairly high, 2.7 odd lakhs, which I think is reduced a bit, but still remains above 2.5 lakhs or close to it. The deletions are very high. And even the candidates themselves.
But Dr. Priyam, traditional psephology would suggest, because right now most petitioners who the final arguments in court, which happened on the 7th of October, were made that a large chunk of those who've been cut off from the voting list are Muslims. So traditional psephology, traditional way of looking at Bihar would suggest that it would impact the Mahagathbandhan more than it would impact the NDA.
And interestingly,
Yeah, go ahead.
Preeti, both the RJD, the Congress and the CPIML in its final, observation, or should I say submission before the Supreme Court, have said that they are satisfied with the exercise.
No, that's what I wanted to ask you.
They
Why
are
are the BLAs, why are the block level
Yes.
agents of these opposition parties not raising the question of exclusion so strongly? Is
Now-
it that, what explains that? If you've been speaking to people in Bihar, is it the charcha on the ground without translating into actually providing who are the people who have been excluded?
So what has happened is, Rajdeep, with that inclusion, or should I say from 65 lakh initial deletion to now that list reduced to 47, the sense in RJD and the Congress and CPIML is that, because these are the three petitioners who have been vociferously speaking against this exercise in the Supreme Court, that with the inclusion of Aadhaar, this exercise has been defanged. So in Bihar, largely, it will not have the kind of impact that they were sensing initially. And that is the reason why on 7th, the sense that was given by these political parties are that they are more or less satisfied with how it has played out.
I just want to ask you, Dr. Ajay Alok, this SIR exercise was supported by the BJP, by the government, and one of the reasons I heard BJP leaders saying कि घुसपैठियों को अब चुनाव नहीं लड़ना चाहिए. This is in a way a test of citizenship. But we still don't know how many घुसपैठियाs have actually got excluded. Even this was not told to the Supreme Court when the question was asked yesterday by Yogendra Yadav. Do you believe that this do you accept that this घुसपैठिया narrative was deliberately pushed by your party to create a fear factor कि देखो अगर ये SIR exercise नहीं हो तो घुसपैठिया वोट करते हैं, आपका वोट छीन लेते हैं?
Rajdeep, first of all, the affidavit submitted in the Supreme Court by Mr. Yogendra Yadav was found to be a false affidavit. To which Mr. Justice Surya Kant replied, how can we believe this? This is the truth. And second truth about SIR is it should be supported by every bona fide citizen of this country. What's the harm in that?
Use the word false affidavit.
Everyone
he didn't
should
say
support
false affidavit.
And
Sir, Surya
and the
Kant
third
didn't say
thing,
false
third
affidavit.
and I have all the recordings of the court if you want to see that. Should I?
Okay.
He did say it's a false affidavit, and how can we trust the further affidavits?
He
now
said,
listen to the third thing.
How can I trust the
whole
further
process of SIR today. Yes.
Go ahead.
How can I trust the further affidavit? Right. That was the exact words. Now, third thing, in the entire SIR exercise, it has been over, and today the first compilation of the first phase has been accepted by the Election Commission.
Yes.
Not even a single complaint was registered to the Election Commission by any of the electorate or by any of the political party. They were all doing this hangama. ये नाटक कर रहे थे रोड पे.
No, Dr. Alok, that's incorrect. That is incorrect. There were multiple complaints that were registered. But the larger question now is very clear, which most political parties say that what we witnessed in Bihar is only a setup. Like they say, no, okay, ये तो trailer है, picture अभी बाकी है, and that picture will play out in Assam and West Bengal. The main focus was Assam and West Bengal. This was just a trial, a hit and trial method.
The picture is going to be played in the whole country.
No, the picture.
Elections are.
The picture is going to be played in the whole country, not only in Assam and West Bengal.
Okay, so you believe that SIR has improved the fairness of elections, and you also perhaps therefore believe that the SIR will benefit, as our C voter poll is saying, the NDA more than the other parties. Okay, we will take that, but clearly the SIR is one of those X factors.
SIR has nothing to do with the benefit. SIR has nothing to do with the benefit to the poll party.
So why did an SIR then come in the month?
The parties will get vote.
So why did an SIR suddenly happen just months before an election in Bihar? If you are saying it doesn't benefit, what was the... my point is there was already a summary revision that had taken place and was ready. The roles were ready.
You should interview... No. If that is the question, you should interview Chief Election Commissioner. Is there
we'd love to.
Is there constitutional right when they want to bring it in?
Okay.
You don't have to question me. I am not the one who got the SIR.
Ajay Alok, to be fair, even the Supreme Court had questioned the timing. Had the Supreme Court not intervened and ensured that there is the 12th document, then this entire exercise would have taken a different kind of a form. So the Supreme Court then had ensured that extra document, right? So with Aadhaar having been included in that 11 document list of residence, the proof of residence, that is the reason why there was an addition. 17 lakh voters were able to show Aadhaar and get their names back on the electoral list.
Let me again tell you and clarify you for the final time that Aadhaar is just for identity. It's not a proof of citizenship. Clear-cut Election Commission has mentioned in the court and Supreme Court has accepted it. And Supreme Court has said Aadhaar cannot be taken as a citizenship form. For felicitation of the
proof
voter,
of residence.
so that their name can be there in the list. The Aadhaar was introduced. It's not a proof of citizenship.
Residence.
Okay, I'm going to ask, let's move on. Let's turn to the next question. And I think this question will give you the first hint of which way the mood is, at least as per this C voter poll for Bihar. No. Preeti, take it over.
You know, Rajdeep, before we get on to the number, there's a caveat. Wait for the final vote share number.
Sure.
Because right now, let's get on to one question that was posed to the respondents by C voter. And viewers, the question was who can solve Bihar's problems? And there are multiple problems where Bihar is concerned. So who can solve Bihar problems? This was the answer in terms of data which were percolated down from our respondents. The Mahagathbandhan, 36.5% people believe, respondents believe that it is the Mahagathbandhan that would be able to solve the issues of Bihar. The NDA, 34.3%, Jan Suraj, 12.9%. No one. Bihar is beyond redemption as per 1 in 10 people, 9.4%. So very interesting. Who has the edge? Because there's a question that we have later on, correspond to similar figures. But Rajdeep and Maria, if you look at these figures right now, it does seem to suggest it could be because there is an incumbent, and then you look at the opposition, but there is a 2% increase in the MGB, or 2%, the Mahagathbandhan is over than the NDA in the respondents who actually feel that it will be the MGB who's better equipped to solve the issues of Bihar.
Look, the numbers are very narrow, but what it does suggest is some element of anti-incumbency, no doubt about that. 36.5% of the respondents saying Mahagathbandhan can solve Bihar problem, Jan Suraj 12.8. Add the two, it comes to 49. No one is 9.4. The NDA actually therefore is punching below its weight when that question is asked, who can solve Bihar's problems at the moment? Maria, you've been traveling on the ground. Have you seen that kind of anti-incumbency? And if there is anti-incumbency, what is it about? Why is it that quite a substantial number of people no longer believe that Sushasan Babu can solve the problems? Is the problem with Nitish Kumar ji? Is it with his MLAs? Is it generally that Biharis feel that not as much has changed in the last decade as perhaps changed in the first decade of Nitish's rule?
Rajdeep, the gap between the two is 2%, roughly around 2%.
Yeah, I'm adding Jan Suraj and then saying 49% are saying anyone but NDA.
Yes. So Nitish Kumar so far has not conducted a single rally on his own. So JDU has not had a single rally of its own. It is the NDA which is fighting this election in Bihar with Nitish Kumar as the chehra, or should I say the mukhota, you can use whichever word, with the Prime Minister doing the heavy lifting here. What has happened here is, with absence of Nitish Kumar, I am sensing this as a Bihari that it could play to his advantage. Right now, there is no anger per se. The anger that I sensed, most journalists sensed in 2020, which was during the period of the lockdown, the sense was that Nitish Kumar is not an efficient chief minister, that he should have, ensured that the migrants return to the state, just as Yogi Adityanath did in Uttar Pradesh and in Jharkhand, Hemant Soren was doing. Nitish Kumar had not done that. That sense of anger is not there in Bihar against Nitish Kumar right now. So then why is it that people feel that after 20 years, Nitish Kumar is not able to solve problems? The fact is that Bihar is frozen in time, Rajdeep. I mean, for all the issues, there are no job opportunities in Bihar. There are huge infrastructure challenges in Bihar, and that is what is reflecting here.
Rajdeep,
can I get in?
Let's listen into,
yes.
Because we've had, with what Maria said, to pick up from that, because does Tejasvi Yadav have that kind of chemistry that he had all the way back in 2020? Jobs still remain a huge issue. Let's listen in to the promises that Tejasvi Yadav made as far back as yesterday.
सरकार बनने पर बिहार की बेहतरी और विकास के जश्न के रूप में हर घर को सरकारी जॉब दी जाएगी। जॉब यानी जश्न बिहार, जश्न ऑफ बिहार। जो लोग भूजा पार्टी की तरह सिर्फ 1 या 2 या 3 आदमी नहीं, सिर्फ 1 या 2 या 3 पार्टी नहीं, बल्कि अब पूरा बिहार सरकार चलाएगा।
साथियों, आरजेडी के वो लोग आपको कभी रोजगार नहीं दे सकते। जो लोग रोजगार देने के नाम पर आपकी जमीनें अपने नाम लिखवा लेते हैं, आप याद रखिए, एक और लालटेन का दौर वाला बिहार था, एक और ये नई उम्मीदों की रोशनी वाला बिहार है।
Okay, I want to get in Manisha Priyam on that because Manisha Priyam, is Bihar frozen in time? As Maria says, that people believe that little has changed and therefore there's a sense of cynicism, or do you believe that there is creeping anti-incumbency, or do you believe that some of the anger that was there during 2020 because of COVID and the lockdown, that anger has gone, replaced by a sense of general frustration but not anger?
I mean, these are very nuanced choices, but let me come around to say that there has been a sense of palpable frustration. Of course, COVID, remember Palayan, labor has been very important. COVID forefronted labor. The issue about unemployment is also linked to labor because the children of the migrant laborers live and study with their mothers. They find nowhere to go. I'm not saying that this reserve army of labor, the only bank that the Biharis have is this vote bank. There is no other Bihari bank there. But the point is that Nitish Kumar, which once put the girl child on cycles and sent him to school, or did co-location of government by moving district to district, he is unwell now. Remember, we are not discussing this enough. In the parliamentary board meeting, I was told that he was still looking for Ramchandar Babu, who is out of his party for the last 3 years and is a part of the Jan Suraj. Now, people don't disrespect Nitish Kumar for what he's done for them and for the Bihari in general, but there is a palpable sense of frustration and disappointment. This may not be anger,
but
as
Dr.
you said.
Manisha Priyam, that's also invoking empathy and sympathy. If you remember, about a month ago, you had both Prashant Kishor and Tejasvi Yadav who constantly attacked Nitish Kumar when his health was concerned. And then suddenly you've seen both of them stop doing it because it is invoking, maybe it could be his last farewell election, but it is invoking a sense of sympathy on the ground.
Yes, it is. Yeah, because Nitish Kumar has been seen as a doer and you cannot disrespect him. But the fact that he is now not seen as a problem solver, the JD is not doing enough, and simply attacking the RJD and the Jungle Raj is not a solution of contemporary problems. There is a whole generation that knows nothing about Lalten. I studied for my grade 10 exam in kerosene Laltens. A whole generation is now there as an adult, 25 to 30 years of age, that lives in the bijli supplied by Nitish Kumar, that has cycled enough to the schools constructed by Nitish Kumar, but wants a road to the future. So harking back saying, if you don't vote for this alliance, where there is no longer a Nitish Kumar and only do remote control button transfers, and you have suddenly said chehre ki rajniti is not important, Bihar mein bahar hai, phir se Nitish Kumar hai, all that is past now, button se transfer ho gaya, और प्रॉब्लम आपको है तो है, जनता दरबार में कुछ रिजॉल्व नहीं होगा.
But you see, that's
the conundrum with which the Bihari voter is faced.
But that button say transfer is my final question to you, Ajay Alok, because in the last month we've seen all kinds of cash benefit transfers. We've seen it under the Mukhyamantri Mahila Yojana, 10,000 rupees being given to more than 1 crore women, 1.25 crore women. We've seen cash benefits being given to the youth. Is this the NDA's answer to anti-incumbency? Like in Maharashtra last year, this is your formula. Agar anti-incumbency hai, frustration kahiye, gussa kahiye, the way out is transfer money in people's hands. If so much of work had been done, then you don't need to transfer the money.
First of all, you should understand there is no anti-incumbency in Bihar. And the latest trend for that pro-incumbency was seen just 8 months back when we had 6 by-poll election and all the 6 were won by the NDA. Second thing, people get frustrated when they get an MLA who does not work for them, who get an MP who doesn't work for them and they want to change. This thing is not happening here. And as far as the transfer of money goes, let me tell you, the money has gone to the same self-helping women group which was formed by the government itself. They are close to 10 lakh. Or in which 1.4 crores females are enrolled who are already doing some kind of a business. This is an amount just to given to them just to strengthen their business. And
sir, just before an election,
good, we'll give them additional
so just before an election, you realize the need to
strengthen.
Sir, just before the election, 10,000 rupees are given, and you are saying
that Rajiv, this was planned way back in February when the budget was coming
Okay.
up and the all budgetary allocations was done.
Okay.
It was planned way
the
back then.
timing.
It's not planned now.
Okay, I will
But
take
what
your
about
word.
the unemployment
I
loan?
will
That
take
wasn't budgeted.
Okay, I'll take your word for it. There is, of course, the question of Rozgar, which we will highlight as we look at it, whether Rozgar is going to become a big issue. We've got plenty more. Who actually has the edge then on the ground? You've got some of the data so far, but the big picture, who does Bihar want as their next chief minister? Why? And who has the edge at the start of the race?